A Chinese coffee startup, Luckin Coffee, is crushing Starbucks in China. And in this video, we're going to be talking about the business strategy that Luckin Coffee used to dominate Starbucks in the Chinese coffee market and what we can all learn from this. Now, before we talk about Luckin, which is a fairly new company, let's talk about the history of Starbucks in China. So, in 1999, Starbucks entered China, a nation with a 4,000-year-old tea drinking culture where coffee was seen as a bitter medicine. Now, their strategy was they're not going to just sell coffee, they sold a third place, comfortable social space between home and work, a vision of a modern Western life for the new aspiring middle class. Okay, so they were selling an experience, a premium experience that included coffee. They did deep research, adapted stores to be larger, created local menu items like green tea frappuccinos. They incorporated Chinese aesthetics and celebrated local festivals. Starbucks was priced high on purpose. Carrying a Starbucks cup became a symbol of social status and success. So yeah, they're approaching the Chinese market with a premium product approach, a premium experience, right? And by 2017, they dominated with over 3,000 stores and 42% market share, making China their second largest market. So yeah, Starbucks definitely had an amazing, successful run in China, but they didn't anticipate that, there's gonna be people lurking, competition was lurking, was watching, and this is where Luckin comes in 2018, and they enter the coffee market with a completely different model. Okay, it was a tech company, not a coffee shop. So Starbucks spent almost 20 years in China educating the market and growing the demand for coffee, right? And they created this premium image around coffee and coffee drinking, and it became a whole cultural thing in China. But the big thing they missed was that, a lot of people started drinking coffee on a daily basis, right? So it gets expensive. If you're gonna drink from a premium cup of coffee every day, you're gonna pay $5 to $10 in the US at least. I'm not sure what the pricing is in China, but it's premium. So if you're gonna pay a decent amount of money every single day for a cup of coffee and you're hooked on coffee, then you're going to have a problem, right? You're going to need a more affordable option. And this is where Luckin saw the gap in the market, saw the need for a more affordable coffee shop, and they were able to enter the market with a completely different, more innovative business model. Now let's take a look at their business model, right? App first and cheap. All orders were through an app with coffee priced about 50% lower than Starbucks. Now, what an amazing competitive advantage for someone who just wants to drink coffee, right? They're hooked on coffee. They need their coffee every single day before they go to work. And, they don't want to spend a lot of money on a Starbucks cup of coffee. So here comes Luckin with an easier, faster, more convenient option. Data-driven. The app collected data to optimize operations and offer personalized discounts. Again, they're a tech company, right? So they're gathering data, understanding what people like, what they don't like, and they are customizing their approach, their messaging, their offers to their customers. Convenience, again, small pickup-only locations near offices and universities for speed. Localized taste, which appeal directly to Chinese preferences, making coffee a daily utility, not a luxury. Rapid growth, Luckin expanded incredibly fast, opening more stores than Starbucks in China by 2019. And as of 2025, Luckin has over 26,000 stores in China compared to Starbucks, which has around 7,700 stores in China. So yeah, that's a big, big difference, right? Now let's talk about the challenge or the problem that Starbucks faced. So the problem, Starbucks was trapped. If they cut prices to compete, they would destroy their premium brand image. If they didn't, they would lose market share. Their failed response was they wanted to add delivery and tech and felt clunky compared to Luckin's purpose-built model. Okay, so they tried to adapt, it didn't work, it was clunky. Starbucks was forced to offer discounts, and that destroyed their image, of course, made them look desperate, eroded their high status brand image. And this was a huge mistake by Starbucks, right? If you're going premium, then you stay premium. So yeah, trying to rebrand as a more affordable option after you've already established yourself as the premium brand in the market is not really the best strategy. You're gonna lose the premium customers because now they're gonna look at Starbucks as a more of a cheaper brand, not something they want to be associated with. And in the end, their market share collapsed from 42% to 14%. They lost their core daily customers to cheaper, more convenient alternatives. So yeah, in the end, they became more of a premium spot. People went there for, to grab a coffee with a friend maybe, but it wasn't the daily coffee provider, right? People could go to Luckin and get a much cheaper cup of coffee and get their caffeine fix. Now, if you're an entrepreneur, you're a business owner, maybe you want to get into entrepreneurship, there's a big lesson for all of us here, right? And that is innovation in business can take you a long way. Luckin Coffee, just by understanding the market, understanding that there's a gap in the market where people were looking for a cheaper everyday spot to take their coffee from, a more convenient, faster option, they were able to slide in with a completely different approach and cater to that part of the market, right? And they overtook Starbucks, and now they like 10 times bigger than Starbucks in China just by studying the market and making sure they have a competitive advantage in the market. And once you figure out your competitive advantage in your market, you can overtake and dominate that market. And when it comes to Starbucks, obviously they did an amazing job at first, but maybe they scaled too quickly and they failed to realize that, they're also creating a problem. They're creating a lot of dependency on coffee, and people, with time realize that, this is going to cost me a lot of money to drink a cup of coffee from Starbucks. So they kind of created the problem themselves. And the best response from Starbucks to the rise of Luckin Coffee should have been, and they can still do this, is to create a completely new offshoot brand that offers a more affordable, faster, more convenient option for the everyday Chinese person who wants to grab a cup of coffee before they head to work. So they keep their Starbucks premium brand, and then they offer a more affordable, cheaper option under a completely different brand name, but that would still be owned under the Starbucks company umbrella. And this way they can, keep their premium customers while they also take more market share from the segment of the market that is just looking for a cheaper coffee to drink on a daily basis. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. This is a new channel and we're going to be talking about a ton of different business topics. So if you like this kind of content, make sure you stay tuned and I will see you guys next time.